Hello, everybody. Welcome to My Life with Asperger's episode number 8. My name is Mike Demaro, and this video we're going to talk about roommates. Yes, roommates. Now, that might be one of the hardest topics I have discussed with you in this video series, but I am going to talk about it because I know some of you are going to college real soon, or if you are in college, or if you're doing the Disney college program, or if you want to move in with somebody, then you gotta learn how to live with roommates. Now, living with roommates was okay with me. I only did it for 1 year. And I did it in 2 separate apartments, obviously. Because the Disney college program, once you're done with the semester, you have to move into a new apartment if you're continuing or extending your program. Now, I only had to move once from my first apartment to my second apartment. I know I also extended one more time, but they let me stay at the apartment I was living at because my roommate wasn't leaving until August. So, alright, let me talk about roommates. Roommates are a fun group of people you get to meet, and they can be from anywhere around the country, anywhere around the world. You never know who's going to be your roommate. You know, and this goes with college and the Disney college program and all that. Now, my first roommates I met were, I'm not going to say any names. One of them was from Michigan, one of them was from Pennsylvania, and the other one was from Oklahoma. All right? Now, the ones from Michigan and Pennsylvania really enjoyed me. Now, the other one, the one from Oklahoma, did not really enjoy me. Now, it's hard for me because the one from Oklahoma wanted to party and drink and all that all the time, where the other two were okay with me and not party and all that. Now, one time I was trying to get some sleep because I had to work the next morning and I had to be up early in the next morning. I was trying to sleep around 1 a.m. and around 1 a.m. or so, he brought back his friends and they wanted to party, and it's like crazy. Like, I was trying to sleep. He had the noise on. He had the guests there in the apartment, and I was trying to sleep. It's all around 1:30. I told him I couldn't handle this. I have to sleep from the next morning, so I could be at work early the next morning. And obviously, after I told him that, he took his friends outside. Now, before he moved out, he ended up eating my food. Even when I marked it was my food, he ended up eating it. I had a problem with people eating my food without my permission. It's my food. I spent the money on it, and yet somebody else eats my food without asking me? Come on, give me a break, So he moved out, and then a month later, I experienced my very first international roommate. He was from Paris, France, and he was a good guy. I left him a note just in case. Well, I had to work that day, so I left him a note on the bed and all that. I was watching TV. I fell asleep watching it, and like around 2 a.m. that morning, he walked in. And I introduced myself, and we were talking a little bit about him and and how life is at the Disney College program. And, he was a great guy. I personally liked him as my roommate. I enjoyed him. And then a month later, my roommate from Pennsylvania left because he had something to do. And so And then a month later, we got another new roommate from Brazil. I didn't really get a chance to know him that well. He and I did go see Wheel of Fortune taping when it was at SeaWorld, and we had a fun time. Yeah, he was a great guy. I just didn't have the chance to really meet him. So, we come to January. I moved out of the apartment, and we had to move into a new apartment. This time it was a 1 bedroom. I had a roommate that was going to move in with me. And then when we went out to the store, and then when we came back from the store, I noticed his stuff was gone. So, you know, that was crazy that I had a roommate real quick. And then the following week, I had this guy moving in, and I was getting ready for work, obviously. I went into work. And then when I came back from work, his stuff was gone again. Or this guy's stuff is gone, you know? It's like, am I intended to live in this 1 bedroom apartment by myself or what? So I went up to the front desk of the apartment complex and asked them what was going on, and I was like, okay. So I had a 1 bedroom apartment all to myself for the very first 3 months that I lived in that apartment. Then on April Fool's Day, I got to know before that someone they were going to clean the apartment so that they could get the new roommate moved in. And I thought when it said April 1st that they were all moving in, it was like an April Fool's joke. Because I noticed April 1st is April Fool's Day. So I was thinking, oh my lord, this is an April Fool's joke or something. But no. The day before, they came on in, cleaned the apartment, and then the following day, I actually called the apartment when I was at work, left them a message saying, "Hey, welcome. I just want to let you know I was at work and all that." So I left them a voicemail message. And then I came back home and I noticed that there was nobody in here. So then I think I was in the shower or something. I heard the door open. It was my roommate. He is from China. He was a pleasure to have. I'll tell you what. I know I tried sleeping in the same bedroom with him, but he snored and I couldn't sleep. So guess what we ended up doing? I ended up sleeping on the couch in the living room with the TV, and he ended up having the bedroom. I know that we shared the bedroom, yes, but I ended up having the living room as my own room, even though he used it too. And he used the dining room and all that in the kitchen. But I mean, I ended up using the couch as my bed because I couldn't sleep in the same bedroom as my roommate. He was a pleasure to have, though. I enjoyed learning about so much about China. And you know what the interesting thing is? The next year, I take a class in Chinese cultures for my very last semester of college. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, you can ignore that. That's my email. Should have closed that window out. Anyways, he was a great roommate to have. I really enjoyed him. And I helped him set up his cell phone number and all. He was a blast to have. Trust me. He was a great roommate. Then came August. I had to move out to go back home. He had to move out to go back home. And now, since last June 2010, I lived in a camper. And guess what? I'm living it by myself. So, anyways, it's okay for me to live alone right now. But it was fun to live with roommates when I had them. So, I hope you enjoyed seeing this video about roommates and hearing about my story about roommates. And I hope you can share me your stories about having roommates too. So, alright, talk to you later.